actually dropped out of school at 16, really young, and I got kind of caught up in the street life. And my kid's father at the time was like, back then it was kind of like cash flow businesses went hand in hand with hustlers because it was kind of a way to get the money through a little bit. And so my kid's father had me just go to beauty school. It wasn't something that I was like wanted to do. I just did it as a way, almost like a hustle. And I ended up being good at it and got abused, homeless, and ended up working in a barbershop salon watching the barbers cut hair, and I actually taught myself how to barber. I started for like $12, and like I said, I was consistent and was just going to work, consistent cutting hair. You gotta remember, this was like almost 20 years ago. It wasn't fly, it was what I liked to do though. It was something that I loved. And so I just was consistent with it, and doing that, I got a reputation and a buzz around LA, and from that, Martin Lawrence got wind of me and was doing Bad Boys 2 at the time and asked me if I wanted to come to Miami and do the show. So I was like, okay. I wasn't trying to get in the union. It wasn't like my idea to be in Hollywood. Like I said, another fluke. It just kind of fell in my lap, and I was like, okay, sure. Being a female is my biggest struggle, being a barber. And it's probably because of the other barbers. But the biggest problem that I have, even at this point in stage in the game, is the men. Because it's still a boys club. It's still a man environment. It's a male-dominated business and environment. And so you have to realize when you're dominating in their arena, it becomes ego. It becomes something like, how is she this good? And I'm a girly girl. Most of the barbers that you know that are women are kind of boyish. And so I don't dumb my girlness down. I'm feminine, and I like being a girl girl on heels. You know, I go and cutting the hair like that. And I think that ruffles their feathers a little bit because I'm dominating. It's something that they're supposed to naturally dominate in. The barbershop is an even playing field, from CEOs of Fortune 500s to pimps. You get that, it's an even playing field in the barbershop. There's no like level. So everybody comes into the same barbershop, and I've had conversations and been part of interactions and meeting people that most women would never be privy to. And I think that I've like infiltrated the boys club. And I think that the relationships, all the relationships that I have built inside the barbershop have been relationships you can't get meetings with. You know what I'm saying? So I think that that's really, I've learned over the years, my relationships have been my biggest asset. I tell everybody, be consistent. Just be consistent. The thing is be consistent and be good at what you're doing, and just treat people good. My favorite quote to live by is, do unto others as you want them to do unto you. Like, if you treat people like you want to be treated, everything in your life will change. Because it's not about what you want them to do for you, it's about how you treat somebody else, because all that energy comes back to you. I really believe that you reap what you sow. I really believe in life. It might not come back from that person, but life will give you back exactly what you put into it. I started writing the book when the federal indictment came down for BMF. My husband went on the run at that time. When he went on the run, I started writing, just kind of as therapy, because I was going through so much. And so I just kind of started writing. And the funny thing is I started writing, I started being able to kind of put a story together. And so I went back to the beginning, and it almost became therapy to me as I went back and realized why I chose the type of men in my life I chose, and why I went through what I went through. It kind of became therapy to where I got on the other side. I was like, wow. I actually cried writing the last sentence of the book. I actually like cried like boo-hoo loud, like as I wrote the last sentence of the book, because the last sentence of the book is very powerful. And as I wrote it, I was like, dot, 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 and that's it. In the process of all of this, I have a nonprofit called the Reach Back Foundation, and it's to help at-risk youth. And it's to help youth that are not just like, I actually just got approved to go into the YA Youth Authority out here in Los Angeles. And I'm gonna go talk to the girls and boys, and I'm working on getting scholarships for them from beauty and barber schools to help them transition from the Youth Authority into something that's productive and a cash flow business that they can make money off of, because a lot of these kids are off the block, they're off the pole, they're gang banging, and they don't have resources from the government because they're off the radar. And so they're kind of throwaway kids to everybody. And I feel like if we get them young and we give them an opportunity to actually make money while they're going to get a trade, because most of like beauty and barber will take you at 15 without a high school diploma. And they'll actually give you apprenticeship programs where you can actually work while you get your certificate. And so my goal at this point is to take the beauty industry and help transition these kids. I'm really working on that. That's because I was a kid that was at risk to not making it in life. And I went against all odds. I still don't have a high school diploma. I still don't have a barber license. I still don't have a GED. Like, and against all odds, I'm now running departments on like major television I want to help these kids know it's possible. My social media is on Twitter and on IG. It's The Real Lisa B, and my website is thereallisab.com.